Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 1339-1339. I'm Mike Matthews, broadcasting from Cafe Anyway, located somewhere in Podcaster Valley, Mont. Today, Madame Rootabega, Valentino, Bison Bentley, plus WOW SCHATZ WOW, in honor of my mom, who I'm trying to go see in Florida, but the ticket prices for plane ticketing gone up. I thought it'd go down with how awful they've been lately.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
How they've got such a bad rap and rep going on these days, so I thought the prices would go down, but no.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
It seems they've only gone up, and that makes me exasperated. Hey, I don't think my ego's inflated, because sometimes it has to be taken down a notch. I don't remember Ed Koch. He was the mayor of New York. He was kind of flamboyant.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
He was a one-of-a-kind politician. And there are a lot of political things
Mike's
in the news.
Daily
And I
Podcast.
can't read my screen.
Yeah!
My computer screen, because it's new! They just switched out this computer here at Cafe Anyway. I feel so special. Back in the days, I can kind of read it here. Wait, why don't I hit Control and Pinwheel and... so much better. Little trick you learn. When you're going blind, you can make the print bigger by taking the pinwheel and hitting down the control button. That's the one that says CTRL. You're welcome. Look who just walked in. Hello, Michael Mash, it's Madame Rootabega, and I can't see anything. I have to wear these big glasses. They look so good on you. They're very becoming. Becoming what? I don't know. Be Comey. You don't want to be Comey today, because Comey gone. Look who else walked in. Hello, Mike. This is Valentino, the parking attendant. And this is Bison Bentley. Do you know that? Mike, we think that Comey got thrown out because of that Sally Yates day. Yeah! Sally Yates! Do you know that? We're oddly attracted to her. Why? Because she has so much power and she's beautiful. Yeah, really pretty. Do you know that? So I thought you guys wouldn't like Sally Yates because she did something Trump didn't like, and he had to fire her, and then she's saying all these things that don't put Trump in a good light.
And here's today's podcast picture.
Speaking of good light, look at this wonderful sunlight coming through the window in today's podcast picture. It's lovely, isn't it? And this is at my friend Tom's house, Tom and Vicky. They live in Podcaster Valley. And there's this wonderful lamp right there. Do you see it? And the sun, that's a Podcaster Valley sunset coming through their window. And I said, I'm going to take a picture of this and make it the podcast picture today. And then I'm going to tell them about it. And they're going to go, oh, that's cool. What's a podcast? Mike, we just discovered podcasts, and we love them because we learn all kinds of great things. There's a great book, Gone with the Wind, that we're listening to on this podcast. And it's so fascinating. It's an old story. No, you're listening to Books on Tape. You're listening to an Audible.com thing. Not to give Audible a free plug, but whatever. Mike, it's very educational. Well, I am impressed that you're learning things, and that's the important thing. So Guardians of the Galaxy went #1 this weekend, and I had mentioned to you last Friday that I had seen the beginning of it. And now you've all seen the beginning of it, apparently. And so who cares anymore what I said on Friday? But I don't know if I want to go see the rest of it. I just saw the beginning of it. I'm not... Did I say I saw the beginning of it? I saw the beginning of it. But do you remember those unbalanced workout shoes? For a while, when I was married, this was a few years ago back, my ex-wife was, I need to lose weight. I know how I'll do it. I'll buy these expensive, unbalanced workout shoes. You just put them on, and all day long, you're burning calories. How does it do it? Well, it's unbalanced. So your body is fighting to get the balance right. And in doing so, you're burning calories. Ta-da! So, and I was so, when she told me that, I'm like, so basically you're putting on crappy shoes? No, it's more than that, Mike. Why do you have to question everything that I come up with? No, I'm not questioning everything. Well, first off, I'm your husband, and that's the role of a husband, right? And of a wife, is to question everything that the other person says, right? And make life as completely complicated and unsmooth and unlikable as possible. Like, you don't want your life to be pleasant, so you get married. Unbalanced workout shoes. That's crazy. So now, the shoes that I have typically, that I walk my wonderful dog, my dog Basil the Boxer, he's a wonderful dog. And he and I are walking along, and I look down, and my shoe's got a big hole. Now my shoe is talking. The sole is completely ripped away. Like so many people that I have met in the show business world, their soul has been stripped away. Just go to Vegas. Those are the worst. Because those people, they got to get on stage and be fake every night. And they got to go, hey, everybody, it's great to see you. Let's play a song. It's not unusual to be loved by anyone. Love you too, all right. They don't love that anymore. They don't love their life. Why do they do it? I don't know. Why do I do this? I don't know. But it's fun. That's why I do it. So my shoe can talk now. Thank you, Trisha, for telling me that. Shoes talk when the sole gets stripped away, and they're just bump, bump, thump. So I thought to myself, oh yeah, unbalanced workout shoes. What a great idea that was. Oh, also the shoe that's basically a sock, where you put it on, it fits to your feet, and you're walking around. Oh, because putting soles on your shoes, that just makes your feet, that's horrible for your body, because you're walking on those. Your foot is being protected as you walk, and that's horrible. I don't get that. But Mike, it's returning to nature. It's returning. That's how we were when we were cavemen. We walked around barefoot. So that's why then just be barefoot. Why? These questions and more we will not answer today on today's Mike's Daily Podcast. But if you would like to see the wonderful website, go to MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com, and you'll see the past podcast pictures, including the one today of the lovely sunset through my friend Tom and Vicky's window with the lamp next to it. And you can help out the show through the Amazon link. Click on that and buy whatever it is you're going to buy, and wonderful things happen. And Amazon stock is going through the roof as I say this. Hey, Amazon, why don't you throw me a free share? I would love that. Thanks. There's also the PayPal. You can help out the show that way. And there's past interviews that I've done with folks like Keith Urban, Saint Motel, a whole plethora of different people, some local folk. It's a cornucopia. Here, I'm going to hit interviews A through F as it opens. The first one is Ages and Ages. Actually, I interviewed them, and then I told the lead singer, Tim Perry, that I was visiting Seattle. I'm sorry, he lives in Portland. And he goes, let's meet up. And we met in Portland and had an ice cream at one of their little hipstery homemade ice cream places. And it was so fun, and I actually got to see even where Tim lived, and I met his cat, Margot. Ages and Ages, a great band. They're kind of one of those group bands that have big group band, like commune band is what I want to say. Like Edward Sharpe and the Magnetic Zeros, kind of one of those bands, Ages and Ages. So check out those interviews and more at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com. Some of them are alphabetized. I'm alphabetized through J. And then the rest are still chronological from when I did my first interview back in 2011. And you can contact me at 336-MM-DAILY is the phone number. Okay, let's get to the segment we call...
Wow Schatz Wow.
Ginormous.
When I tell my mom something surprising, she goes, "Wow, Schatz, wow." And because she's German and she calls me Schatz. And Donald Trump, she loves Donald Trump. But yesterday he abruptly is the word people have been using lately. Abruptly. He fired James Comey, the FBI director, dramatically, abruptly ousting the nation's top law enforcement official in the midst of an FBI investigation into whether Mr. Trump's campaign had ties to Russia's election meddling.
I say it's better to get along with Russia than not.
In a letter to Comey, Trump said the firing was necessary to restore, quote, public trust and confidence in the FBI. Comey has come under intense scrutiny in recent months for his role in an investigation into Hillary Clinton's email practices, including a pair of letters he sent to Congress on the matter in the closing days of last year's election. Now, Trump made no mention of Comey's role in the Clinton investigation. We'll probably find out more later today. She was blamed in part for the election, in part of the election result that put him in the White House. She's as mad as Comey as ever. In fact, she's probably going, why didn't Obama do that? Why didn't Obama fire Comey like a year before the election day? That would have helped me, is what she said. But, you know, she's busy now because she's got other things going on. And I can't find that thing I had that had her voice on it.
But I just want to set the record straight.
She said that. Maybe I'll find the other thing. That I have too many sound effects.
Far-fetched new day. It's what makes a car a Volkswagen.
That is not what I was looking for. Oh, yeah, this is what Hillary said.
I'm now back to being an activist citizen and part of the resistance.
See? Oh, and remember, Comey said something, too. He was all... that he was nauseous, or that's right, if he had in any way caused the election to happen the way it did, it would have made him nauseous. I'll find that sound effect at some point. Was it this one? No. So this show is called Mike Trying to Find His Sound Effects, and I think he found a good one right here. Paul Ryan saying this.
I think part of what is happening, I think Democrats are letting their hair on fire to get you to cover this story, to try and keep repeating the same story.
And I think we'll just stop looking for sound effects, because I think that's what... Okay. But there is this... So, Jim, that's... All right, you got that whole story. Now, Uber is hiring Raquel Ertasan, a prominent artificial intelligence researcher at the University of Toronto, as the ride-hailing company aims to build a lab for driverless car research in the Canadian city, which is a hotbed for AI talent. Who would have thought that Toronto was a hotbed for artificial intelligence talent? Ertasan, a professor at the university who specializes in the computer vision software that allows driverless cars to view the world around them, will oversee the new venture. We hope to draw from the region's impressive talent pool as we grow, helping the dozens of researchers we plan to hire stay connected to the Toronto Waterloo corridor, said Uber's embattled CEO, Travis Kalanick. The move resonates on multiple levels given the ongoing legal attack against Uber's existing computer vision technology by Waymo, the driverless car company that grew out of Google, and the widespread controversy over Uber's allegedly misogynistic internal culture. Ertasan could help the company forge another much-needed path to the kind of AI that driverless cars will require. She's also a high-profile female hire for companies that's desperate to change its horrible image. And finally, the next time you go under the knife for retinal surgery, which I hope is not anytime soon, but you know what? It helps in life if you can see where you're going in some way. It may not be a human hand holding the blade. Well, now what I don't understand is, when I had my laser eye surgery almost 10 years ago now, a computer was involved. I remember that the computer was talking to the surgeon, but I guess there was, the computer cut into my eye, as I recall. I didn't like that. But now I don't have to wear glasses, except for when I have to see, and I don't need to wear glasses in this world where I can increase the size of the print on the screen using the pinwheel and the control button. That's the CTRL. That's because a revolutionary surgical system developed by the University of Oxford in the United Kingdom, which just passed its first set of clinical trials, is able to perform these intricate operations better than even the steadiest surgeon. The problem lies in the pulse. Retinal surgeries rely on creating minuscule holes in the eye to gain access to the retina itself. A 10-micron thick flap of membrane that converts light into electrical signals that the brain can interpret. In the case of issues like an epiretinal membrane, essentially a scar on the retina caused by anything from injury to disease to just growing old, even the flow of blood through a surgeon's hand is enough to throw off their accuracy, raising the odds that they'll cut too deeply and make matters worse. Isn't that fascinating? And we'll wrap it all up now with this story about Stephen Colbert. Remember last week I told you about that joke? I didn't actually tell the joke, but that the FCC was going to investigate him over that joke. Hashtag Fire Colbert soon became trending on Twitter, where they lambasted his joke as homophobic. The Federal Communications Commission reportedly received complaints about his remarks. However, it was only after FCC Chairman Ajit Pai acknowledged Thursday that the commission would review complaints about Colbert's joke that the story spun out of control. This, according to media law experts. Suddenly, the FCC had opened an investigation into Colbert, according to headlines in multiple news outlets. And we mentioned that on the show. Under federal law, profane, indecent, and or obscene content is prohibited from being broadcast on TV or radio, but such headlines are misleading because the FCC reviews every complaint it receives, says Andrew Schwartzman, a media law specialist at the Georgetown University Law Center. If somebody files something, of course the FCC has to look at it. The FCC spokesman confirmed to the Post on Monday that the commission was not launching an investigation. Not. Even if there was one, the Late Show with Stephen Colbert airs, late enough that it is exempt from the FCC's policies on profanity and indecency. The FCC defines indecent content as that which, quote, portrays sexual or excretory organs or activities in a way that does not meet the three-pronged test for obscenity. Profane content includes grossly offensive language that is considered a public nuisance. However, these rules don't apply to broadcast TV and radio shows that fall into a safe harbor period, which is between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m., and Colbert Show is 11:30 p.m. when children are not watching or listening. As we go outside a cafe anyway, where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast, somewhere in Podcaster Valley, that from the Washington Post. Did we find that Comey thing yet? Mike? No, Mike. I still haven't found it. I found this, though.
Almost as stupid as a stupid does.
That sounds like it was from a wonderful... Alright, so you know what? That movie was called Austin Powers. No, it was called Austin Gump. Something like that. Thank you for listening to the show, where it was pretty much abruptly ending in your ears, but that's okay. We'll get to another show next time with Chely Shoehart, Foreman, John Deere, the engineer. Thanks for replacing my computer. It made this show much more smoother. And thanks for...
Why make trillions when we could make... billions?
And thanks for listening to that sound effect that had nothing to do with anything.
Right.
It makes me mildly nauseous to think that we might have had some impact on the election.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com.
Email Mike now at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST@gmail.com.
See you tomorrow. Bye!